कृपानिधि सर्वज्ञ सदानंद परमानंद स्वरूप आश्रित वात्सल्य परब्रह्म ज्ञान स्वरूप अनाथनाथ अनंत तत्वदर्शन चैतन्य चूड़ामणि मोक्षदाता भवबंध विमोचक प्राणेश्वर भवभय भंजन अज्ञान तिमिरनाशक भवतारक प्रेम रूप सर्वाधार नाद ब्रह्म स्वरूप आदिदेव शरणागत वात्सल सर्ववेद सार अचिंत्य लीलामय अव्यक्त सर्वस्वरूप सर्वसाक्षी सर्वातीत प्राणेश्वर सर्वकारण कारण अनंत दयामय आत्मबंधु सर्वसिद्धि प्रदाता परम पावन जीवनाधार प्राणात्मने नामैक सर्वस्व स्वरूप प्रेमैक स्वरूप अलौकिक चरणाय मौन बोधिने अनंत कल्याण गुणनिधि करुणा स्वरूप स्मित मोक्षदायिने सर्वभयहर नाम स्वरूप हृदय प्राण करुणानिधि भयहारण सर्वकर्ता स्मित अनुग्रह मूर्ति अलौकिक दृष्टिराय दयामूर्ति अभयहस्त मार्गदर्शी प्राणाधार तिमिरनाशक सर्वात्मलय रूप अंतर्यामी ज्ञान प्रदाता अमृतवाणी अनुग्रह रूप करुणाकर हृदयांतरवर्ती सौंदर्य निधि सर्व मार्गदर्शी अशेष दोष स्वीकरा जगवंदन विवेकदर्शी दिव्यानुभवदायक निर्गुण स्वरूप सर्वसंपद प्रदाता भवबंधु महादेव देवाधिदेव महादेव सर्वमंगल स्वरूप करुणावतार अद्वैतानंद सर्वेश्वर स्वरूप दीनदयाल दिव्य ज्ञान स्वरूप महाकाल योगेंद्र शिव तत्व प्रकाश महाकरुणामय आनंद सागर सर्वाधार जगत गुरु परब्रह्म परम गुरु जगदाधार जीवनाधार अनुग्रहानंद आदि ज्ञानेश्वर सच्चिदानंद मूर्ति चरणारविंद प्रकाश सर्वज्ञान प्रदायक दिव्य दर्शन
He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। Morning, everyone. Just give me a moment. I think there should be a resounding. Just a second. Okay. So is it good now? So here we are, walking step by step, and have reached to the 8th phase of Tahar Vidya. So over the last week, how many of you could actually relate, or how many of you could actually catch hold of yourself, of your own stories? And how many times like you realize that, oh, so I have been giving it another person's name. And then I realized that, okay, so all the names that I have been giving is also mine, because the entire stories are mine. So were you able to catch hold of yourself? How was it? It was playful, it was a struggle, or it was good to know that whatever is being done or whatever is being happening, we were able to catch hold of it, right? Good. So today also, good and could easily come out of the situation. That's really good. So because once you have the power, like when you know that you are the one who is the storyteller, and as I said, if you know that you are the storyteller, you can change the story. Up until then, it is somebody else's control and you cannot come out of that. Right? Just like if you are dreaming, up until you realize you are the dreamer and you are the one who is actually creating that dream, you will be lost in that dream. Yes or no? Many times in your dreams also, like something happens, some good, bad, ugly things happen in the dreams, and you are going through that even without your realization. But the moment you realize that, oh, it is a dream, it loses its entire grip. So it is exactly just like that. So coming to today's session. Apart from this session, there are two specific declarations that will be coming up today. And try like how it works, we'll see. For this day, I was just contemplating on the recent celebrations that you all people arranged and it happened. And so when I was thinking like how to start this Tahar Vidya session today, and would you be happy if I say we will at least try to complete this today? Or it would be another story to tell, right? So whatever it is, let's see how it goes, how it unfolds, and if it really goes beyond this also. So this, as we all celebrated another birthday of mine, it showed another year has passed. And as I look back upon the journey of life, I was reminded of a story that perhaps reflects the story of every human being. So there comes a story which I could relate to, especially when we look at the people, those who are dealing with these worldly things, how they are, how they are being living their lives. So listen to this story. You might find some people in that. You might find yourself in that. So there was once a traveler, and this traveler who carried a heavy backpack. Wherever he went, he used to carry this heavy backpack on his back. Inside the backpack, it was not that the backpack was just a worthless one, but inside the backpack, it were the precious stones, the old letters, the awards, the memories, the photographs, and all the countless possessions that he had collected throughout his life. So every village he visited, he added something new into the backpack. Every achievement found its way into the bag. Every praise he received became another treasure, which was stored carefully in that bag. And over time, as you know, if you keep on filling up the bag, over time, the backpack became heavier and heavier. Yet, the traveler refused to put it down because he believed it contained his entire identity. And he believed, this is who I am. And he would say that proudly, actually. These are my accomplishments, my relationships, my victories, my failures, my experiences. He kept on telling that story wherever he went and kept on filling up the bag with new and new things. Years passed, and as you know, like the roads became starting steeper and more terrain. The mountains of life became higher and the burden became unbearable. His shoulders started aching because of the weight. His steps slowed down. His joy started disappearing. Yet, he continued to carry the weight because he could not imagine himself without that bag. One day, while climbing a mountain, he encountered an old sage sitting beneath a tree. Seeing the traveler's exhaustion, the sage asked, Why are you suffering so much? The traveler simply replied, because life is difficult. The roads are hard. The mountains are steep. Listening to this, the sage smiled and pointed towards the backpack. And then the sage said, "Perhaps the mountain is not your problem." And when the sage said that the mountain is not your problem, the traveler became defensive and started saying, "This backpack contains everything that makes me who I am." And in that moment, the sage nodded gently and said, "Then place it on the ground for a moment. I invite you to put down your backpack on the ground for a moment. Are you ready to keep the backpack down?" And reluctantly, the traveler just removed the bag and set it beside him. Now just close your eyes. Imagine this: you are that traveler who has been carrying this backpack for a long, long time. And now, for the first time, you remove it and you keep it down. Relax your shoulders. You can even let go of the shoulder and drop it. And you don't have to carry the world on your shoulders. Just be there. And just like you, for the first time in decades, his shoulders relaxed. His breathing deepened. His body felt light. And while he was experiencing all this, a smile appeared on his face without any reason. The sage then asked, "Tell me honestly, while the backpack is on the ground, do you still exist?" Do you still exist without that backpack on your shoulders? Good. "Of course," replied the traveler. And then the sage said, "When the memories are not being remembered, do you still exist?" Answer was again yes. "And when nobody praises you, do you still exist?" Now the traveler started smiling. He said yes. And then the sage asked, "And when nobody knows your name, do you still exist?" The traveler paused. Something inside him shifted because he felt that all that he carried in the bag was himself. And without that bag, he was nothing. But for the first time, he was realizing that when nobody knows you, when you are not downtrodden down your memory lane, when nobody calls your name, when nobody needs you, when nobody is even asking you anything, whether they're talking good, bad, or ugly, do you still exist? And then you will realize that that's something, a story that we have all been telling to our own selves. And just like the traveler, you might be experiencing that something will shift. And then the sage continued. When you say that you still exist without all of this, then perhaps you are not what you carry. All these years you might be thinking that you are what you carry. And the sage said, perhaps you are not what you carry. Perhaps you are the one who is carrying it. Then the traveler just sat silently, because for the first time, he realized that he had spent his entire life confusing himself with the contents of the backpack. The awards were not him, the failures were not him, the relationships were not him, the fears were not him, the beliefs were not him. Even the stories he told himself about who he was not him. They were merely things he had collected along the way. And this understanding deepened. Something extraordinary happened. Nothing changed externally. The mountains remained, the roads remained, the responsibilities remained. Life remained exactly as it was. Yet, internally, everything transformed. Because now the burden disappeared. Not because the backpack vanished, but because he no longer mistook the backpack to be himself. And this is another essence of Tahar Vidya. Most of the people spend their lives adding more to the backpack, more knowledge, more possessions, more titles, more identities, more opinions, more beliefs. Yet peace never arrives, because peace is not found through accumulation. Peace emerges through recognition. Recognition that behind every role, every thought, every emotion, every success, every failure, there exists a silent presence that has remained unchanged since childhood. Because the body has changed, the mind changed, the circumstances changed, the world changed. But the awareness of witnessing all these changes never changed. And as I was celebrating, it was not just merely another year added to life. And this would be my message to you all, that when you celebrate your birthdays from here on, let it not be just another year added to life, but let us celebrate another layer of illusion that has been removed from us. And as you live and you peel off one by one illusion, it is just like another opportunity to remember what has been present to us, another chance to moving and not just knowing but becoming. So, for ultimately, life is not asking us to be extraordinary. Life is inviting us to discover the extraordinary presence that already exists within us. May you continue to love deeply and serve selflessly. May you continue to fulfill all your responsibility with sincerity. May you continue to dream, create, and contribute to the world. But amidst of all, may we never forget the one who is aware of the entire journey. For when the remembrance awakens, life ceases to be a struggle because completion becomes a celebration. And this is the timeless or the greatest treasure that we can know, because that remembrance is our great awakening. The awakening is the heart of Tahar Vidya. Now, let me tell you something, a very simple and beautiful way of praying. Prayer can be done two ways. One, you can pray saying that all that you need in your life, or you can demand in your prayer. So what could be a demanding prayer? A demanding prayer could be like, I want to bring this change to humanity. Now show me the path. I just don't want to go away in this ignorance. I want to bring light into this world. Show me the path. I just don't want to let go of another opportunity. And may I become the pathway for others' liberation. Show me the path. So when you only ask for this worldly things, and when we are there in this worldly life, we need things, we need people, we need opportunities, we need many things to live. But how we live is our choice. But how to live in this space? Is it really possible to practice Tahar Vidya every single day? Then I'm going to help you today with that. I will give you simple ways how to make it a part of everyday life. And it is not going to add another process to your already long list of processes. But it would be an easy way as to how to live this life in such a awareness without effort. I don't say like it would be effortless, but not to the extent of the effort that generally people think to be. So today, the first and foremost thing that you will do as a part of living the Tahar Vidya. So I'm going to give it in parts, starting with the morning. Okay. So the first thing, when you wake up in the morning, you establish the ground. What does that mean and how to live that? Do one thing. Many of you already might be doing it. But the moment you wake up, Before the world enters you, just pause. Sit silently. Do not rush into your phone, your thoughts, or your roles. Just notice. There is a simple sense of being present. Before the mind says, I am this person, there is just I am. Recognize gently. I am awareness, not the body. You don't have to repeat it like a mechanical affirmation. Just see it. Just see that the body is lying there. Observe. Sensations are present. Observe. Thoughts are beginning to arise. Observe. That which is aware of all this is not limited to the body. Let the recognition set the tone for your day, not as efforts, but as clarity. This is something that you can simply do when you wake up. You are still lying down on the bed, or you are just sitting and you are still observing all that is happening. And during the day, you can go into a very subtle inquiry. As the day unfolds, you will naturally use the word I many times. You might say, I am busy, I am stressed, I am happy. Each time, just to become a little aware and insert a pause in that. Ask within, which I? Is it the body that is tired? Is it the mind that is restless? Is it an emotion passing through? Or is there something deeper that is simply aware of all these states? The question is not meant to create confusion. It is meant to separate the real from the assumed. Slowly, a gap will appear between your identifications. Once you are able to identify, that gap will become your freedom. But throughout the day, there might be situations where there are difficult moments. In those difficult moments, just try this from reaction to observation. Challenges will come. Your emotions will also rise. And don't worry, the situations will test you. In those moments, do not try to suppress or control anything. Instead, shift your position. Shifting your position is not moving from one place to another, but from being the one who is reacting to being the one who is observing the reaction happening. You can see that the anger is arising. Watch it. Fear is present. Notice it. Restlessness is there. Allow it. Because the moment you observe, a subtle distance will be created. And in that distance, the intensity will reduce. Not because the situation has changed, but because your identification with that has shifted. You will begin to seek more clearly. Emotions are movements within you. Remember this. Emotions are movements within you, but they are not you. And then, when you go to sleep in the night, what you should do? At night, before you are ready or you sleep, just sit down or lie down quietly for some time. And then do one thing. Let the entire day pass in front of you, not as involvement, but as observation. All the conversations you had, the actions, the thoughts, the concerns, the emotions, everything that happened throughout the day. Just look at it as if a movie is going on. Hmm? And then, once the entire movie is running and the entire movie is done, now simply and gently drop all of it, just like the traveler dropped the backpack. Drop your roles, drop your name, drop your story for the day. What remains when everything is done, let go of it. Just be in a silent presence. Experience that silence within when you dropped everything. And once you find that space, rest there. Do not try to hold it. Do not try to deepen it. Simply recognize the silence. And you will see your sleep then becomes not an escape, but a return to natural state. And if you just do these simple things, this is not about doing more. It's about identifying yourself less. It's not about controlling life, but about seeing life clearly. It's not about becoming aware, but about recognizing that you were never unaware. And if it is done sincerely, something very subtle begins to shift. And then you will realize that you still continue to live your life, you still perform your responsibilities, you still experience your emotions, but internally, there is a quiet stability. A knowing that nothing comes and goes. And whatever comes and goes never defines who you are. And once you start seeing all this as an observer, and you see that without force, without struggle, awareness stops becoming a practice and it becomes a natural way of living. So remember to live your life fully, but always rooted in what never changes. Now, simply close your eyes, sit as comfortably as you can. If you want to dim the lights, you can dim the lights also, if you choose to. And now we will get into a small little meditation. So when you are ready, just show a thumb sign so that I know that you are all set to start this process. Thank you. Simply notice your breath. Don't change anything. There is no need. Just allow your body to relax while keeping your eyes closed. Now you can take a slow and deep breath and slowly exhale it as well. A slow, deep breath in and slowly exhale. Again, repeat the process. Breathe in and let go. Breathe in, let go. One more time. Breathe in and releasing completely the breath. And now allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm and its natural process. You don't have to breathe slowly or fast or anything as it. Just allow your breath to happen in a natural way. There is nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to achieve, nothing you need to become. And for the next few minutes, simply allow yourself to be. As you sit here, imagine your life as a vast river flowing before you. Imagine your life as a vast river simply flowing before you. See the child you once were. See the dreams, hopes, victories, and disappointments. See the people who entered your life, the people who left. The moments you cherished, the moments that challenged you. Watch them all flow like water. Notice that everything changed. Your body changed, your thoughts changed, your emotions changed, your circumstances changed. Everything moved, everything flowed, and yet something remained. Something was present when you were a child. Something is present now. Something has quietly witnessed every chapter of your life. Without effort, without judgment, without resistance. Can you sense that presence? Not as an idea, not as a thought, but as the simple fact that you are aware. You are aware. Once you find this space, just rest there. For a moment, there won't be any voice from my side. You just rest in that space. Now bring your attention to your thoughts. Allow them to come and go naturally. Do not stop them. Do not follow them. Simply observe. A thought appears, a thought disappears. Another thought arrives, another fades away. Like clouds drifting across an endless sky. Notice the clouds move, the sky remains. Thoughts move, awareness remains. Remember, you are not the clouds, you are the sky. Now become aware of your emotions. Whatever is present now, just become aware of your emotions. Whatever is present right now, peace, restlessness, joy, sadness, whatever it is, just allow it. And simply notice like how every feeling rises and eventually fades away. It is just as the every wave rises in the ocean and returns to the ocean. The wave changes, but the ocean remains. You are not merely the wave, you are the vastness from which it arises. Now imagine one more thing. Imagine now that you are standing before a great sculptor, and in front of the sculptor is a magnificent block of marble. The sculptor does not add anything. He simply removes what does not belong. And with each gentle strike, another illusion falls away. Illusions like I am my fears falls away. I am my failures falls away. I am my achievements falls away. I am my roles falls away. I am my story falls away. Layer after layer disappears. And what remains begins to shine. Not something new, not something created. Something that was always there. Silent, radiant, and complete. And when you are in this space, silently repeat it within yourself now. I am not merely the body. I am not merely this mind. I am not merely the thoughts. I am not merely my emotions. Instead, I am the awareness that knows them all. And feel the truth of these words, not intellectually, but directly. Now bring your attention to the space between thoughts. As you bring your attention to this space between thoughts, a quiet gap, a subtle stillness the silence that has always been present. All of this. Simply rest there without any effort, without any struggle, without any seeking. Simply being. And then you will realize that this stillness is not empty. It is alive. It is peaceful. It is whole and complete. And that is what the sages called Satya, that which never changes. That which never changes is the Chitta, the awareness that knows all experience is Ananda. The fullness that needs nothing to complete it. Rest here for a few more moments. Take few moments. Now slowly become aware of your breath once again. While still resting comfortably in that space. Now, as you are becoming aware of your breath again, feel the body, feel the space around you. Recognize something beautiful. Remember, life will continue. Success and failure continue. Joy and sorrow will continue. the waves will continue. But now you know the ocean. And once the ocean is known, the waves are no longer the things that define you. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. One more deep breath in and gently exhale. Bring a gentle smile to your face. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes, carrying this remembrance within you. Live fully, love deeply, serve effortlessly. But whatever you do, remain absolutely rooted in what that never changes. Adesh Mahadev. How do you feel? If you are able to find that peace and that silence in this moment, this is your true self. So, as I said, there are two specific announcements that are coming your way. One is a very simple one, which I wanted to post it up here. So let me see if I can just bring this up onto the screen. Okay, so is it on the screen now? I believe yes. So is it visible? So the song that you liked so much is now ready, and it will be available on YouTube from tomorrow. And you see like how beautifully it has come up. So this was one thing. But this month, there is another major thing that I want to do, and I'm yet to discuss it with Haribhai, and we will anyhow will make it happen. You know, like this month there is Ambubachi Parv. So if many of you already know that what Ambuvachi Parv is, it's all about Devi Kamakhya, right? The time of the year when the doors are closed for 3 days. So yesterday I was generally sitting and thinking what kind of sadhana I should be given. And what should be done and what should be actually shared. Then suddenly from nowhere, something appeared and I said, let's do it. This is what appeared, and many people will be happy and some people will be sad about it. But that will be a story. So let me share it. Can you see this? The first thing that you would notice is nobody actually saw what the title of the program was, but everybody was busy looking at only for females. So this Kamakhya Shakti Jagran, that awakening of the divine feminine within, it is going to be a 4-day transformational online retreat. It will begin from June 22nd. That is a Monday. Morning 5 a.m. to 6 or 6:30, max 7. So when I was thinking like what kind of sadhana should be done during this time, so I thought like rather than I doing any sadhana, why not serve her through you guys? So this is only for females anyways. And it is all about like the healing of awakening, empowering, receiving and becoming. And if you look at this, it's about the forgotten goddess within. It is a process. There are things that we will be doing together. There will be practices. There will be initiation of the Kamakhya Kavach also. There will be some very profound ways of looking at it. There would be a healing, there would be awakening, and there would be rebirth through Kamakhya. And then I saw like we keep on like people keep on writing, we have limited seeds, we have this, we have that. I have removed that completely. And I have mentioned it as we have unlimited seeds. Because this is the way we want to honor the divine feminine. So this is going to be open for all females only. And this was supposed to be a 4-day retreat. But this time we'll do it online first. Let's see how it goes. So that you can experience it at the comfort of your homes. And At the same time, I'll just give you a glimpse of what it is all about, and let me see what all is covered in these days, just for a little information. Uh, Let me bring it up. Okay, so can you see the screen? Is it visible? So the day one would be the forgotten goddess within the lost temple of the divine feminine. These are all the contents that you will be going through. The major ones would be the Kamakya Hridaya Dhyan. The day two, there would be the 4 wounds of womanhood that you people go through, but you never speak of. Then there would be a womb healing. Then there are the hidden powers, then the mysteries of the Mahavidyas, and then there is a mantra sadhana. Then the day third would be awakening of the inner Shakti, the secrets of that Kundalini and the feminine energy. Then Devi Nyasa, then manifesting through the feminine consciousness, the 9 faces of the Divine Mother. Then there is a red rose puja of Devi. And then there is a Bhairavi awakening meditation. Then the day fourth, you will be having the rebirth through Kamakya, becoming the living temple. Then again, we'll be discussing about the secret of the divine womb, the sacred rebirth process, and you will walk through that path actually. Then the Kamakya mystery, then Kamakya Kavach Diksha. All these previous 3 days will be a preparation for that Diksha. And finally, the blessings and all those things. This is what I have thought of. Let me see how it appears and how it goes. This is, I could realize when I was thinking what sadhana should be given, all these things appeared. So this is simply, or I can say it is not my doing, it's her calling. And if she does not call, then who would? And don't worry, if anybody has any questions that whether I'm ready for this or not, whether I'm prepared for this or not. Remember a kid? Remember, a kid does not get ready and goes in front of the mother. The mother makes the kid ready. So I don't know what all the men in the group might be thinking, but inspired by one thought like, why boys should have all the fun, right? So this time a dedicated, specific 4 days for you, because I thought like that would be the best way I can serve her, show my gratitude to her, or worship her by bringing all this to you people. And through you, I want to pass on my seva to her. So, but only one thing is, as I keep on saying, this kavach of Kamakya is a must for every female, especially the kind of the world it is becoming now. It's not only about protection, it's about clarity, it's about reality, it's about realization, it's about not succumbing to your own thoughts, not becoming a victim to your own spaces. It's realizing your real power, I can say. It's like remembering that you were the daughters of eternity. You were the power behind every creation. You are the energy that runs the show. And we all know that even the Shakti Pithas, the Devi is all powerful. Yet there is a protective circle. You are all powerful. But how about bringing that protective circle to you? So, what is the ask now? I'm going to confirm all these things, but I want to hear from you first. Shall we conduct this? It would be foolish to deny that. It would be ignorant to say no to it. I'm telling upfront on your behalf. But the thing is, this time you have to invite more and more people, especially the females. You can ask me the age. The age can be 11 and above. Bring it. Because for the first time we are doing it, and it is not the first time or anything as such, but it is an opportunity. Because I don't know if I will repeat this or not. But still, it will be recorded, but it will not be kept in a public domain because people start misusing it. So for that reason, we'll be keeping it you will be attending that session and it will be kept in a secured environment anyways. Okay. So I'm going to call upon all the females that I know at least to be a part of it. I started it with inviting Simi yesterday. I said, you are going to be a part of this sadhana anyways. I'm going to invite my sisters. I'm going to invite few other people that I know because my family is you. Because when I go back and see like how many people I still remember, how many people know me, they might be knowing me, but it's been a long time. But still, I'll try my best to reach out to people to call upon them to be a part of it. Now, it's up to you how we are going to create this awareness because this has to be there. It's not about spirituality. It's not about becoming a part of this group, or it's not another business gimmick or idea to sell our things. No. I am just asking you to give me an opportunity to serve her through you people. That's my only ask. And the more number of uh, people we can pass this on, the better world we can make it. So call upon your daughters, your moms, your aunts, your friends, your relatives, known, unknown. Who knows whose calling is that? Because people keep on saying so many things. बहुत सारे processes हो जाएंगे, बहुत सारे चीजें हो जाएंगी. What should I start? What is for me? Females cannot do certain processes because of their limitations. I say, let's break it. What all is being asked? Might be early morning awaking. If you are in India, in US, it is the evening part anyways. Other part of the world, it depends on their time zones. The next thing is 1.5 hour to max 2 hours. Because I don't want to be a miser to keep it up to 1 hour. I just want it to, and yeah, if it is the content is covered in 1 hour, I'm absolutely happy with it. But you know me. So what all is being coming for you? Now all the gentlemen in the house would be thinking, ठीक है, जिनको बुलाना है बुलाए, हमें क्या? No, it's your responsibility as well. Or as the next program which is coming for male, what would you do? So whatever it is, I'm going to take help of Haribhai anyways to make it uh, visible even in the social media. At least people should start knowing it. So June 22nd, block your dates. Because if you block your date, then only I will block my date, or else it is still a thought in my mind. Yes, everybody has a feminine and masculine energy in them, but this time we want to bring the feminine into power. So you all have a list of people in your mind, right? You are always already thinking, isko bolna hai, usko. That's okay. It's just like, you remember जब कोरोना चल रहा था, right? And आपको पता चला कि like you came to know that वहां पे इंजेक्शन मिल रहा है. What did you do? अरे तुम जितने पड़ोसी आस पड़ोस जितने लोग थे, अरे वहां पे इंजेक्शन मिल रहा है, मैं लेके आया, तू भी जा. You did that, right? Why? What was their intention? उनको इंजेक्शन दिलवाना था. Or the intention was like in some way or other the life should be protected. It was a pandemic, right? How about a pandemic that you are not able to see? What about a pandemic that is about to come? And what about we are creating an antidote? So all the gentlemen in the house and all the females in the house, invite. And it's not just invite a casual one. Make them realize what is the importance of these things. You can have a life where you can earn money. You can have a life where you can roam around. You can have a life, whatever you want to do, you can do. But this part of your life is important as well. Because if you look at a tree, it not only grows upwards, it grows downwards also. And a tree that only grows upwards will be uprooted. You can be great in this world, but if you are not connected with the ground from where you came from, you will be uprooted. I cannot force it more. I cannot push it more. But I believe like you got my message. But unanimously, all the gentlemen in the house, are you okay that we do a session only for the females? Now they will ask, can we be a part of it? Sorry, no. You can listen it from your people from your home. Navneet ji, you can ask Preeti ji what happened. She can tell you. And Haribhai says, but हमको तो रहना पड़ेगा. हाँ, you have to be there. I cannot help that. So be there and block your dates. That's what I can say. And of course, you would have loved it. The other thing that actually came into my mind is like having a 4-day, complete 4-day retreat on this. So morning, afternoon, evening, night. These are your sadhana times. And the rest of the day, you do some or other activities. So someday we'll do that also. Okay. Till then, we have online. So that was my two piece of mind that I wanted to share with you all. And yes, of course, tomorrow go and share that song that you liked so much. I trust me, I don't know how many times I have also listened to that. And now the way it has come up, you're going to love it. Okay. And coming back to the session, I completely went sidetracked. But just the last thought. It is a beautiful calling that has appeared. Or else we have never ever discriminated to have one session only for females. So, and yesterday when all these things, and you saw like it never took time to even create that poster because the idea was so clear. The moment I was thinking of Ambubaji for what should be done, this entire thing came up. So now I can simply say it is not my doing. मेरा होता तो मुझे बैठ के कुछ ना कुछ बनाना होता. So I would have created it, I would have thought on that and all. No, it just, and I think like when the doors of Kamakhya are closing, these doors are opening for us within this time. So all the females in the house, be ready for that sessions. Okay. And do invite, spread the word. And they don't have to become a part of our family. They can simply come, do this process, go back to their lives. It's not our asking to stay with us. It's like no string attached. Yeah, of course, if somebody likes, we don't deny them. But it's not. Okay. The next things, there are a few things that I'll be discussing with Haribhai and coming up with the final one. And after that, I'll be sharing at least this poster so that you can go ahead with, if you want to, then pass it on. Want to do it free anyways. Because what amount will suffice as, because I want to do it as a seva, but I have to see like, because at times people take it, वो कहते हैं ना कि if things comes for free, they don't understand the value of it. But whichever way it comes, whichever is going to be a very simple one. Right? So further details will be coming your way anyways. Okay, so coming back to the Tahar Vidya part 8. This part of the meditation also that we did, we will be extracting that and posting it back to the group so that you can have it, or else it will be in another app also. We can just put it so that anytime you want, you can go and listen to that. The meditation that we did just right now. So to sum up this 8 sessions that we had about Tahar Vidya, I'd like to add a story to it. A story that would bring everything into one bag. So it's a story of a traveler. A traveler once entered a desert in search of an ancient city that people called the place of eternal peace. For years, he walked endlessly. He crossed storms, survived the burning heat, and he climbed the sand dunes and the mountains of doubt within himself. Sometimes he felt close, and sometimes completely lost. Every time suffering came, he believed he had failed again. One evening, exhausted beyond words, he could not define how exhausted he was. And he stopped beside a old tree, which was standing alone in the middle of the desert. There was nothing extraordinary about this. It was not glowing with light. There was no divine music. There was no miracle. It was just a tree, which was simply and utterly standing still among the chaos of the winds of the desert. And then the traveler sat under it. And for the first time in many years, he stopped searching. He just sat there and watched the sandstorms rise and pass by. He sat there, watched towards the sky, and he saw like how the color of the sky was changing. He looked within and watched how the fear was coming within and also going away. And suddenly something shattered within him. He realized that the tree had never resisted the storm, yet the storm could never uproot it. And the question was, why? Answer I gave you earlier, because its strength was not in its branches, but in its roots. And in that moment, he understood peace was never the absence of movement. Awakening was never escaping life. The storm would continue. People would come and go. Success and failure would rise and fall like waves. But there existed within him something deeper than all of it. Something that did not move with every passing emotion. Something that was untouched by praise or pain. Something silent, eternal, aware. The traveler finally reached the city he had been searching for. Not outside, but within. And strangely, after the realization, his outer life did not disappear. He still walked, spoke to people, laughed, worked, loved, and fulfilled his responsibilities. But now there was a quiet stability beneath everything, a stillness that remained untouched within him, while life continued to dance on the surface. And slowly, naturally, without any force or struggle, awareness stopped being something he practiced. It became the way he existed. So, what all I can say is, just like that traveler, have you found your home? Because if you found your home, you will live your life fully. You will love more deeply. You will work more passionately. But you will still remain rooted in what never changes. So, my dear divine souls, Tahar Vidya does not decorate your life with something new. It does not add another degree, another identity, another belief, or any new achievement to your journey. But it does something far more radical. It removes what is false. It takes away every assumption you have unknowingly carried about your own self, layer by layer. It dissolves the borrowed identities, the conditionings, the thoughts, the emotional attachments, the deep rooted belief that you are limited. And what remains after this removal is not emptiness in the ordinary sense, it is fullness, self existing, self luminous, undeniable. That fullness is described in our tradition as Sat Chit Anand. I could remember one more. Hmm, okay, so there was once a sculptor whose statues were said to feel more alive than human beings themselves. So kings traveled across kingdoms to witness his work. His creations carried such presence that people would stand before them in silence, unable to explain what they felt. One day, a young seeker like you approached him and asked, Master, how do you create something so divine? What secret do you add into the stone? And as usual, the sculptor smiled and said, I add nothing. And as you know, the seeker was confused. And then the sculptor took him to a massive block of marble, which was lying untouched in the corner of his workshop. Inside this stone, he said softly, there is already a living form waiting. And the seeker laughed. But it is only rock, he said softly. There is already a living form waiting. How can it be? But as you all know, the sculptor picked up his chisel. Then slowly, deliberately, he began removing the pieces. One strike, then another. With each strike, there fell a piece, a fragment that was not to be a part of that stone, not to be a part of that creation. And the seeker became impatient and he said, you are destroying the stone, he shouted. But the sculptor remained silent. Days passed, more and more marble disappeared. And then finally, the seeker gasped because before him stood a breathtaking deity, so alive, so radiant that tears began flowing from his eyes without reason. The seeker whispered, trembling, how did you create this? The sculptor looked at him deeply and replied, I did not create it. I only removed what was never the deity. And when you say, what all I have to do to become that, what would I say? Answer is very simple. I did not create it. I just removed what it was not. This is the entire secret of the journey, the inner journey. You believe you must become divine, become peaceful, become awakened. But existence has never asked you to become anything. It only asks you to see what you are not. You are not the endless noise that you hear in your mind, not the fear, not the restlessness, not the identities collected over the years. These are only layers of the marble. And the moment they began to fall, something is revealed. What is revealed is not emptiness in the ordinary sense, but a fullness so complete that nothing can be added to it. A silence that feels more alive than sound. A stillness overflowing with presence. A peace that is not dead. Because there can be peace in two senses. One, when you are alive and at peace, and the other, that they rest in peace. Which peace is more important? I would say when you are alive and you have found your peace, it's for you. And when you are gone and they rest in peace, it is for others. Might be you made a lot of noise in the world, that's why now they say, rest in peace. And that's where once you awake to that peace, our tradition calls that Sat, Chit, Anand. That which never changes, the pure awareness itself, and the causeless fullness of existence. It's not a philosophy, it's not a belief, it's an experience. And you can actually touch it right now. Because when we say Satya, the truth, that which never changes, never comes and goes, never depends on anything. Everything in your life has changed, but something has remained constant. That constancy is truth. It is not something you hold, it is what you are. Then comes the chitta, the consciousness, the knowing, the presence because of which everything is known. Thoughts are known because of it. Emotions are felt because of it. The world is experienced because of it. Yet it does not need to be known as an object. It is self-evident. Even the statement, I exist, is possible only because of this consciousness. Then comes the ananda. Not pleasure, not excitement, not emotional happiness. This is a causeless peace, a completeness that does not depend on circumstances. It is not something that arises, it is something that is uncovered when disturbance ends. It is the natural fragrance of being established in your true nature. There is one simple process that we can do for 5-10 minutes. Is it okay? Everyone is ready? Okay. Just do one thing. Whatever I'm going to tell from here on, do this sincerely for the next few minutes. Just for a few minutes. Okay, so just sit comfortably. Sit comfortably. Don't try to be spiritual. Okay, sit comfortably. स्पिरिचुअली कैसे होते हैं? हाथ को ऐसे रख के आंख बंद करके जैसे तपस्या करने के जैसे बैठ जाते हैं। नहीं, वैसा नहीं चाहिए मुझे। सो जस्ट सिट, simply close your eyes. Now look at your thoughts, not the content of it, just the thoughts, just the movement of the thoughts. Notice how one thought comes, stays, disappears. Another thought comes, stays, disappears. And majority of your thoughts are coming from your memories. So now look at how your memories are coming, telling you a story and going off. Now, because of the stories, because of these memories, now see how your emotions are arising along with it. First, it started with a thought, then it came from your memories. Then there is an emotion that is attached to it. And even the emotion is coming and going off. Then these emotions, you are connecting to yourself, you are saying, me, I am happy, I am sad, I am worried, I am at peace. Even the feeling of me keeps changing. Now ask silently within. If all these things come and go, then what is that is noticing them? Do not answer intellectually. Do not answer spiritually. Just look for a moment. If all these things come and go, then what is it that is noticing them? Just look. For a moment, stop chasing your thoughts and turn your attention towards the one who is aware of the thoughts. And something unusual begins to happen. Because thoughts might still appear, but suddenly they are no longer the center. There is a background presence, silent, aware, already complete. Now remain there. Remain there for a few minutes. Not doing anything, not forcing it, just resting as the awareness. Simply rest there. silent, aware, already complete. You are not doing anything. You are not forcing anything. You are simply aware. Now slowly open your eyes, but not to the world. Despite your eyes open, still focus on the observer and observe carefully, because the world is still here. The body is still here. Thoughts are still here. But there is a shift. There is now a distance between you and the noise. There is a stillness beneath movement, a fullness beneath emptiness. And for a brief moment, you understand the sculptor was right. Nothing new was created, but something false was simply removed. And what remained was Sat Chit Anand. And this is not transformation. This is just a recognition. Because you do not become divine as a result of practice or effort. You do not evolve into something higher. The idea itself becomes or belongs to the mind, which is always trying to move from one state to another. But Tahar Vidya reveals that what you are seeking to become, you have never not been. There is a profound shift here from becoming to being. Because in this space, the seeker dissolves, the search collapses, the distance disappears, and what remains is so simple that the mind cannot grasp its depth. It is just you, without distortion, without limitation, and even without confusion. And there is a beautiful way our sages have expressed this through the negation, right? Neti, neti. Not the body, not the mind, not the emotions, not any passing experience, not yet, not this, not that, and yet not nothing. Because what remains is undeniable presence, self-existence, self-realization, self-knowing. It's like a silent completeness that was never absent. And when you start seeing this clearly, life will continue outwardly as it has been, but you will continue to act, continue to speak, continue to relate, continue to engage in the world but inwardly, something fundamental absolutely shifts. Because what you truly are cannot be lost. And this is the final revelation, not dramatic, but as a quiet certainty. Remember this: you were never bound, you were never incomplete, you were never separate. You simply mistook yourself for something smaller, and now the mistake is seen. Because you don't become divine, you realize you were never anything else. And finally, there is no path to that. There is no distance to that. There is no method to reach that. You know why? Because you are that. You yourself are the Tahar Vidya. Not as an idea, not as a belief, but as an undeniable reality. So I can finally say, stop searching for truth. Start recognizing that it can never be lost. Because anything and everything can be lost in this world, but you yourself cannot be. So thank you everyone for being here, being patient with this knowledge as well. You might have found it quite repetitive, but the chiseling is repetitive. Might be another space, might be another place. And may this bring it up to a understanding, a realization, where you realize that whatever you are seeking is you. Finally, somebody from our group has written a lyrics, and the same were played in the beginning of the session today. And these are nothing but 108 names that they could come up. It can be related to any god, it can be related to a guru, it can be related to you. So I'm going to play that again before ending the session. So you can listen to it with your closed eyes, and you can think of any being that you can connect it with. You can connect it with Shiva, you can connect it with Shakti, you can connect it with Vishnu, you can connect it with the Guru, you can connect with the Guru Tattva. You can connect it to your own self. So here I play it for you.
दयानिधि दीन बंधव करुणा सागर भोला शंकर मनमोहना त्रैलोक्यपूजनीय निरञ्जन मोहनाशन मधुसूदन भक्त हृदय निवास ज्ञान निधि कल्याणकारी ईशान स्वरूप कृपानिधि सर्वज्ञ सदानंद परमानंद स्वरूप आश्रित वात्सल्य परब्रह्म ज्ञान स्वरूप अनाथनाथ अनंत तत्वदर्शन चैतन्य चूड़ामणि मोक्षदाता भवबंध विमोचक प्राणेश्वर भवभय भंजन अज्ञान तिमिरनाशक भवतारक प्रेम रूप सर्वाधार नाद ब्रह्म स्वरूप आदिदेव शरणागत वात्सल सर्ववेद सार अचिन्त्य लीलामय अव्यक्त सर्वस्वरूप सर्वसाक्षी सर्वातीत प्राणेश्वर सर्वकारण कारण अनंत दयामय आत्मबंधु सर्वसिद्धि प्रदाता परम पावन जीवनाधार प्राणात्मने नामैक सर्वस्व स्वरूप प्रेमैक स्वरूप अलौकिक चरणाय मौन बोधिने अनंत कल्याण गुणनिधि करुणा स्वरूप स्मित मोक्षदायिने सर्वभयहर नाम स्वरूप हृदय प्राण करुणानिधि भयहारण सर्वकर्ता स्मित अनुग्रह मूर्ति अलौकिक दृष्टिराय दयामूर्ति अभयहस्त मार्गदर्शी प्राणाधार तिमिरनाशक सर्वात्मलय रूप अंतर्यामी ज्ञान प्रदाता अमृतवाणी अनुग्रह रूप करुणाकर हृदयांतरवर्ती सौंदर्य निधि सर्वमार्गदर्शी अशेष दोष स्वीकरा जगवंदन विवेकदर्शी दिव्यानुभवदायक निर्गुण स्वरूप सर्वसंपद प्रदाता भवबंधु महादेव देवाधिदेव महादेव सर्वमंगल स्वरूप करुणावतार अद्वैतानंद सर्वेश्वर स्वरूप दीनदयाल दिव्य ज्ञान स्वरूप महाकाल योगेंद्र शिव तत्व प्रकाश महाकरुणामय आनंद सागर सर्वाधार जगत गुरु परब्रह्म परम गुरु जगदाधार जीवनाधार अनुग्रहानंद आदि ज्ञानेश्वर सच्चिदानंद मूर्ति चरणारविंद प्रकाश सर्वज्ञान प्रदायक दिव्य दर्शन
Thank you, everyone. So with this, we bring an end to this session and this series of the Vidya as well. Meet you all again in the Q&A session and the next sessions. Thank you. Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi. Haribhai, over to you.
Yes. Thank you, Manaji. So I will close the meeting with this then.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Right.